After a 4-year break, my favourite comic has returned. Saga by Vaughan and Fiona is a mesmerising journey through a crazy universe that has nothing and everything to do with our own, and a cast of memorable characters you'll grow to love, before seeing them be murdered in graphic detail. Volume 10 has just come out, but before I get into that, I'll talk about the series in general, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure. Saga tells the story of one small family against the backdrop of a massive intergalactic war. Much like Star Wars, Earth doesn't exist in this universe. Instead, the main players are Landfall, where all the inhabitants have wings, and Wreath, its moon, whose inhabitants have horns and can do magic. The two sides are in a state of perpetual war, but they only fight on other worlds, so their own planets can stay peaceful. I'm sure that's a metaphor for something, but I can't think what. The main characters are Alana, who has wings, and Marco, who has horns, who fall in love and run away together, against every rule of their peoples. As the book begins, Alana gives birth to their daughter Hazel, who also narrates the book from the future, and gives intriguing hints as to what will happen to her. The little family travels from planet to planet, constantly pursued by bounty hunters, who are hired to kill them, before their existence reveals to the public that interbreeding is possible rather than war. All the characters are wonderfully three-dimensional. Even the hunters who start off as antagonists don't always stay that way, and they're given enough depth that you can come to sympathise with them. Vaughan is one of my favourite comics writers, having previously done Y the Last Man and Paper Girls, and he carries on that streak here. Despite the fantastical setting, he still maintains his use of casual dialogue to ensure the characters stay relatable. Many issues are covered along the way, from the pointlessness of war to racism to abortion, and LGBT characters were introduced before it started to become fashionable. It's not remotely suitable for kids. There's enough violence, swearing and graphic sex to make it impossible to film in live action. Though Netflix has been making more adult-oriented animations recently, so maybe they could be a good fit. Fiona Staples' artwork is another major selling point. Every issue introduces new fantastical characters from a seemingly infinite store. And because this universe has no explicit rules, they all fit right in. Take the robots, for example. They're basically humanoid, but have a television for a head. This is blank until they feel emotion, in which case a suitable image pops up. There's no biological or technological explanation for any of this, you just have to go along with it. But my favourite character has to be the lion cat, who squeals the word lying whenever anybody in the vicinity tells the untruth. Sometimes this is hilarious, sometimes it's poignant, but it's always a high point of the issue. These 9 volumes are also available in 3 deluxe hardcovers, or 1 giant-sized companion volume, depending on what your wallet and shelves can stand. As to the new volume 10, this starts with Hazel's 10th birthday. It's also been 10 years since the comic started, so it appears she's aging in real time, which is a rare thing in a medium where characters can stay the same age indefinitely. By the time the comic ends, she should be 18, which raises the unsettling prospect that we might get to see her first sexual encounter in graphic detail. She's just a kid, please hold off for another few years at least. In the 3 years since the last volume, this guy has joined the crew. We don't learn very much about him, except he has a mysterious past, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops. The main action comes from their encounter with a pirate ship, which looks really cool. The captain is a bad guy. You can tell because he uses words like woke and trigger warning unironically, and he probably reads the Daily Mail as well. His crew are a lot of fun though, and their band introduces Hazel to the joys of music. It's not all fun and games though, as there's the usual amount of betrayals and shock cliffhanger endings. Lion Cat is back though, stealing the show as always. There's maybe not as much action in this volume as the previous ones, but overall it's a really strong comeback. There's still another 8 volumes planned before the series ends, so here's hoping the standard keeps up all the way to the finish. Next week I'll be reviewing the new Black Panther movie, and the week after that I'll be continuing with my series on Doctor Who, looking at John Pertwee's first season from 1970. If any of that sounds like your kind of thing, then please subscribe. Or you could just watch one of my other comic related videos. See you next time.